create my first mask. I want everything to fit inside this silhouette. I may bring some of his features back later, but to start with, I want you guys to kind of pick something that would serve as a good background for all of your other assets, things that kind of tie together. So I'm going to use this Starry Night mountain ocean scene, and I've opened it in Photoshop. Notice I did not just drag and drop, because you may want to just use parts of this, but for now I'm going to use the whole darn thing. I'm going to use my select tool. Actually, I didn't quite get the whole thing. I can also just go up to select all, Command C to copy, Command V to paste. Now it looks like my dude is at a lovely Arctic region. If I wanted to make the lighting more convincing, this is what I was talking about with changing your color tones before. So if I move to color balance and push him more towards blues, whoops, that's the wrong layer. And I'm doing that destructively because there's already some masking going on there. You can end up with a lot of masks over here, and I'm not planning on actually keeping this. So if I push him more towards blues, cyans, maybe that fits a little bit better, but we're not worried about that. I'm actually going to yoink this up here, and I'm going to load that selection I made before. So select, load selection, body and head, hit OK. And the fun part begins. See this button? It's also over here. We've got buttons everywhere. They do the same thing. You can make a mask, and it immediately clips and masks your lovely picture to the shape of your face. I think it's super handy. You can start to do this with your other bits too. Oop, it's upset about it being a large image. So say I want to do this. I'm going to drag and drop that in a new layer, and I'm going to size it down because I want this guy to sit kind of in here. The first thing I need to address, this is a very heavily yellow-toned image. In order for it to fit with that, I need to do some adjustments. I could do them non-destructively if I want masks on masks on masks, and if I want to be able to change them later on. But for the purpose of what I'm doing now, I'm going to do so destructively. So let's change the color balance. Let's push it towards blues and cyans. Still a little too yellow. And you can choose which of these, the highlights, the midtones, the shadows, you're pushing towards. I probably need to do a saturation adjustment as well. So it's a very saturated blue. Let's bump it down. We want kind of a blue-gray. Maybe shift my hues a bit. Lighten it up. Getting closer. Too green. There we go. That's similar. So now I can create another non-destructive mask. I can hit the button here, or I can hit the button down here. It's up to you. I'm going to hit it over here. And now I want to get rid of the rest of those clouds. I could use that with my selection tools. I could paint it in. That is a personal preference on your part. I'm just going to paint with my black. I have to make sure I've clicked on this, otherwise I'm going to paint on my image. You can zoom in with Command and plus, or you can use the mouse pad like I just did. And I'm going to go in and quietly mask out the rest of that image. Whoops. Don't be afraid to change your brush size. Command bracket. Just bracket. No command. And I will actually go in and get rid of those in a hot minute. This might be a good test to see if the select subject thing works for this. So let's open this in Photoshop real quick. Let's see what it thinks the subject is. Close. That's actually pretty good, but I want to add to that. I want the ledge. So I'm going to come in with quick selection, add selection, and add both. And now, actually, I've saved myself some time with masking. If I wanted to leave some of these elements in, I sure could, but I'm actually going to get rid of this. And he still needs an adjustment. He still needs size down. I still may need to crop him to just that area. Kind of want him sitting here. Let's adjust real quick. I want to push him towards blues. And I might actually clone that out later. Let's just go with the silhouette. That's better. Okay. Now let's mask. And actually I can go in and let's unmask, Command Z, save that selection or load selection, body and head, hit OK. And I want to mask. It's a nice clean way of doing it. And because I didn't erase any of it, I can move it. I can move the mask if I need to. I might actually come in and mask in that weird ledge just so it looks, whoops, a little more organic. A little too organic. We're gonna move that. So a lot of this is just going to be tweaking and getting it where you want it to fit and making your assets fit the same color type.